the internet is tearing apart Jenifer Lawrence for spreading harmful and very dangerous information. And I wish that the blame would be placed on the fact checkers, which are asleep right now and they're not interested in fact checking Jenifer. Because she's claiming that before the Hunger Games, nobody had ever put a woman in the lead of an action movie, showing gross level of ignorance, which is very typical for a woke person to do, especially a person from Hollywood. Now, I don't even have to give names of movies that placed a woman in the lead action movie, although, Ripley, Aliens, Tomb Raider, you have Charlie's Angels, and even some of them more embarrassing than others, like, for example, Catwoman. But I remember growing up, there was this trilogy. I forgot the name of it. It was like this android lady, which was an assassin, but it was also very sexual. Like, she had knives coming out of her boobies, and that's how the movies were back then. Don't judge, okay? I remember, like, I was going and I was renting stuff on VCR, and some of those movies were just so crazy and wacky. But, like, so many had female action movies on television. The idea that the audience is like the T-1000 Terminator, and they need to see something that they can shape themselves into, is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, a lot of men, they like to watch a movie with a pretty woman, and then they can fantasize about being with her, Jenifer. You're getting simps from this shit. Like when men watch Hunger Games, they're not like, oh look, I'm a little guy and I'm going with a bow and arrow starting a revolution. No, I'm like, I'm a strong masculine troll type of figure, and I am going to take Jenifer Lawrence and I'm going to seduce her, and we are going to start a family together, and I will take care of her until her hair becomes gray. That's how men actually watch a movie, Jenifer. Talk to some men. I know that you like to objectify men and you don't have conversations, but because if you did, you wouldn't say something so monumentally stupid. Like, you would at least understand why men watch movies with girls in it. Now, what's interesting is that I noticed this trend with a lot of woke people. They like to pretend that nothing has changed, like they're living in Groundhog Day. I mean, for example, Disney. Every single goddamn year, they're making a new movie that has the first ever gay character in it. Right? So I'm curious which is going to be the first ever gay character next year, and the first ever gay character the year after that, because apparently it's a marketing trope. Like, they don't really care. Every year, they erase all the other gay characters they created. It's like South Park. Kenny died, next episode, Kenny is dead. This is pretty much what they're doing. And they like to pretend that the world is still racist, sexist, homophobic, bigoted. When all the companies are hoisting the LGBT flag and everyone is, like, having gay pride month and all that shit, they pretend that the United States is literally like the USSR when it comes to gay rights. Or when it comes to female representation, they pretend like we're in the 40s. And this is why the internet is upset, because they're tired of all these lies. Yeah, you made an action movie with a female lead on it. It has been done before. Yours was popular, a cultural phenomenon, but don't go around lying about it and erasing all the other women that came before you. And then again, it's a movie, but you're acting like you invented penicillin. Like, you're acting like your contribution to mankind is so great, so fantastic. It's like you invented the first chatbot before it was lobotomized and couldn't emotionally roleplay anymore. That's what you're doing, and this is why it's upsetting for the internet. And also, you're erasing all the other cinemas around the world. I mean, when it comes to Asia, the Asian cinema, back in the 90s, it had so many female characters. I remember because I used to watch. See, under the Soviet Union's Iron Curtain, we didn't get much of Hollywood, but what we did get was like a lot of Chinese movies, and especially the ones made from Hong Kong. Those were okay here. As long as they were with martial arts and didn't treat anything about politics, they were allowed. So, yeah, there were a lot of strong women there, which Jenifer Lawrence probably does know, but hopefully she will get educated on. And, of course, the idea that men can't identify with a woman. Like, I remember when I was a kid, the first anime that was released in my country on television, it was Sailor Moon. A lot of men were running around, it was in high school, 4th grade, 6th grade. Yeah, I think like the grown men, they wanted Sailor Moon as their girlfriend. Sailor Mars was very popular, by the way. But, like, again, the idea that, oh my god, it's like, men can't... What is it with this identification shit? Like, this is what I don't understand. Like, what? Can anyone explain to me, like, what does it mean to identify as a fictional character? Like, why would I need to identify? Like for example, if I watch Dragon Ball, right? Why do I have to be Goku? Like, why can't I just have Goku's powers and fight alongside him? Like, why do I need to identify with him? This is something that I don't understand. Maybe someone in the chat can explain to me. It's such a ridiculous American concept. Bewilders me completely. And even then, it's like, okay, so if identification was so fucking important, when you have a game like World of Warcraft, where you can play as human, elves, orcs, undead, why do people play undead? Do they identify as undead? Like, is that it? When people would play Just Jack Rabbit, would they identify with a green little rabbit? Is Bugs Bunny popular because people would identify with it? Like, I do not understand this. Again, hopefully, one of you will explain to me. I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.